Pounders did it again. 40K takedown by KMAC. Congratulations, buddy. We're going to get into the week 2 slate. We'll go over a little recap, and then we'll get into a little week 3 look ahead onto the BR slates. They've not opened up the main slate yet, but we can draft a few of the playbooks, get a little bit ahead and forward thinking, see what players we like to rise, who we should be targeting early, and who are the fades. I mean, last week, very happy with the limited drafts we did, and we'll show those off in a sec. But first, KMAC dropping a 40 bomb here. 40K, he did 9 drafts. He did 9. He did 9 on the main slate. Giving us a little background on his strategy in the DMs, and he stated basically he didn't want all of his chase teams to be tied to a Jacksonville piece. Super sharp. You're getting rid of an easy 50% that way. So if they bust, which they all did, ETN did the best, but still, it wasn't going to get you. It wasn't going to get you top 10 with that. Really, really well done. You see 15% drafted for Goff. And my God, I mean, he was one of my favorite. Let's see. He was one of my favorite scrolls at QB was Goff. I had Goff right after Kyler. And then we had Jawan down here. You really didn't need an RB scroll and wide receiver scrolls. You didn't need either, although Rome did get there on a 2-tutty game. However, Chase, Amon-Ra, the general strategy of last week of pushing up those early wide receivers just due to the way the slate was. That's why we had Chase at the 101. Derrick Henry completely busted. He completely busted. And we're happy. We book a small win. Although, like, when you have Chase up there, 44%, you have Neighbors at 31%, you have Taylor. I mean, you want to book a big one. You just do. It's like a winning week will feel like a losing week. But I'm not afraid to go all in on a take, especially when I'm doing the limited amount of drafts that we have. A third and long, I think, in here, and then one main slate for the $27 hairs there. But this is a thing of beauty. And taking down the main slate is very hard. It is extremely, extremely difficult. And he cleared. He cleared by 5 points. It's not easy. It's not easy to do. It's really not. Trey, did someone fall in this draft? So he got Trey at 9. Chase went at 4. Amon-Ra at 16. So basically right on ADP. JT at 21. James Cook 28. And then he scrolled all the way down to Goff to correlate that. And I'm sure he's happy he did. I wish I did in another contest because we would have swept one ourselves. But very, very nice looking lineup. KMAC is a bestballoverlay.com subscriber. Not that it's taking any credit. It takes a sharp drafter to take down the main slate. But my God, our best was came in 95th with basically a 0 at tight end. We needed 10 points to finish top 4. That's life. Neighbors Chase with Cook and JT with Lamar. Andrews with 2 red zone targets. One should have been picked, to be honest. And was the other one dropped? I think it might have been a drop. Although I don't want to admit it. That was a pretty good sweat we had there. This one, 36th place with 4 points at QB. This one, if we just correlate Laporta with Goff, we take down the third and long. It's that close in these contests. It really is. It's that close. Just one pick off. We're last picking Fields here. If we just go Goff, that's it. It's the difference of taking down the slate or finishing 35th with 4 points at QB. So close. So close. And that's why I say, like, even though we book a win, our exposures were all over the slate. And then we had some close calls that it could have just gone a little different. Very happy, though. overall. I think this was a really fun slate as well. Like, it seemed pretty clear, the strategy, at least in my mind, was like push up these wide receivers. Puka, Neighbors, Chase. Lamb, we had a good amount. Flowers, because we had a decent amount of Lamar. But, man, that Goff scroll got there in a big, big, big way. Rohin, shout out to our dude Rohin. He also had a top finish in the third and long. He had a nice turbo, Meatwad. He also had a nice sweat. He was in first place for a good portion of this. And I want to say this is Binny. Shout out to Who Hams. We'll get to Who Hams. Wildcat finish. We did one just so we could see the top scores. I mean, this one wasn't even bad. It's just Josh Allen, T. Higgs. He finished sixth for a nice 3K payout. Puka, Neighbors, and Amon-Ra. Almost the nuts there. Would have been Chase, Neighbors, Amon-Ra. But really sick. Another nice lineup. Juwan Johnson getting there for 13.4 points. And that's where it's like, tight end 6, tight end 5 are going to be so chalky. They're going to be so chalky. If you just scroll down, you're getting to a player that's like sub 30% owned. Sub 30% owned. And look at Goff was 12.9% owned in this contest. Crazy. Really nice finish by Who Hams there. The Pounders had a week, not going to lie. And check out Who Hams stream as well. Streaming the Underdog content every week. All right, I want to do a quick recap of these. Let's actually do a quick sweat here. We'll do a little portfolio dive real fast. We started with 52 in the eliminator. We ended with 29, so over 50% advanced, which felt good. And now it looks like we're going to have a really good week. I'm expecting 20 to 22, so this is accurate. This could be really good. So we should be down to 13, and having 22 is superb. It's superb. We had a couple teams just blow them out of the water with 170 bangers. But very interesting. Some of these late window drafts that I did really had a good impact, and it shows in the stat sheets as well. I mean, we're having a pretty good day here, advance rate wise, amongst a lot of these contests. 3, 4, 7 out of 18 Huskies, 36 BBMs. But look at this. Like the last 12 that I did, 138 to 150, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, advancing 50% of those. And I have a ton of Troy Franklin. One of my guys that is really, really slamming at the end of the season. We have 6% across all contests, but when you go to BBM only, we snuck in. Oh, apply. We snuck in 10%. We snuck in 10% Troy Franklin on a player that's like 40 something percent owned, 42, 43. Really nice piece, I think, to have there. 10% is going to play like 20%. And then Daniel Jones at 8%. This should be higher. However, I'm happy that it's 8%. Again, I don't think he wasn't 100% owned either. I know that actually for a fact. So we feel pretty good. Through almost 2 weeks here with where we're at. I know you guys got some sweats in here as well. We have some here's the Pounders draft as well. This is the Pounders cash game. This might actually be more important than BBM. This one $5 contest, big board style, Pounders, all Pounders. This is a fun one. Ghosty, Turbo, Too Cool, Rad, Bo, TB Bucks, Higher Tree, Doc, Al Boogs, Adam, Zero Fucks, and Rowan. This is arguably the most important draft of the year. This one $5 contest. But really happy. If you guys did the flocks, oh my God. I think I'm advancing 4 out of like 20. 4 out of 25, and it's 1 out of 12. Like, this contest was so incredibly soft. So incredibly soft. And after weeks 1 through 14, it's a 50% advance rate. So like, you only play one person, sort of like the elim. Week 15 playoffs, it's 1v1. Week 16, it's a 1v1. It's a pretty small final after that as well. Here's one with BBG. Shout out to Eric. Sure, he's happy to get in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's just like, I have a lot of first, a lot of second place teams. The haters are scrambling on Javante. Like, boys, the haters are scrambling on Javante. It's so funny. It's so still people refuse to say anything positive about Javante. Bro had 24 touches this past week. Jaden Blue inactive again. I saw someone like, oh yeah, Miles Sanders stole a red zone touch. Who cares? Who cares? Bro's getting 24 touches a game. He went at pick like 140 to 160 in some drafts. So really funny. I wish I ended up with more. I'm happy with what I have all the way from the big board to BBM. I'm much, much less. The big board, you knew we were at 30% before when he was a free agent. So that's back in like end of January. We're drafting that guy in the Elijah Moore spike week. Can I just celebrate this? I might not get this again. Well, 10-point spike week. Elijah Moore. I mean, he had a higher scoring week than Keon Coleman, Palmer. We'll take it. But yeah, having a lot of fun, a lot of different sweats here. We only had 2 weekly winter drafts, or 10 total, and we have two in the top, which is crazy. This one will stay in the top, but we did not get enough at running back here. We just did not get enough at running back. To have Goff, Amon-Ra, Neighbors, even Waddle there, QJ still to play, but Kraft. Man, we needed some 20s at RB here. We needed some 20s, 176. We need a couple big weeks, but I'm happy just to have even a little bit of money back. 10 weekly winners, you're really not expecting anything. And yeah, it's $100 invested there. No big deal there. 11 out of 40 rookies and sophomores. And this is about to go up because we have a ton of Rome. Nope, they already played. We have a ton of Bucky, McMillan, RIP, man. This would have been, honestly, this is one of the best clicks in rookies and sophomores for the last round pick before the injury. Like, rookies and sophomores, you're looking for points early. This is that guy. Him and Coker at the end of drafts were really sharp picks, especially when people didn't know if Godwin was going to be playing, not playing. It was pretty muddy. He gets hurt, doesn't really matter. But we still have 32% Emeka, Chargers, 40% Hampton, good amount of Ladd, good amount of Trey Harris, and we have how much Higgins? 47.5%. So these are going to go up. So pretty happy with that. We were advancing close to 20, 19 before this week started. So we're in a lot of those. It's only week 2. I like to look at the elims. That's the most fun and like actionable thing that you should be looking at. All the other stuff is like, it's going to land where it lands. I'm not going into really specific teams, but it is good to see that we're ahead of schedule on a lot of these contests. Never bad to start out hot out of the gate. We're lucky with the Joe Burrow injury too. Like, we were not taking him. We were always trying to push him, right? We're always trying to push him around the turn to the 5-6. And in return, we sort of get lucky that he gets sniped quite a bit. So we end up with 5 to 6%, 5% in the big board, 6% in these post NFL draft contests. So not the best process, but we kind of luck out there with the injury, I guess. But we have a good amount of Higgins. Chase, we're like right at 8%. So they'll still have their spike weeks. It's going to be a little more inconsistent. It's going to be interesting now when we draft these BRs and you're like, oh, Chase, do I take him at 6? He's going to be going later. So it'll be interesting. Is it going to be inconsistent? Ceiling definitely drops. Floor definitely drops on everyone in Cincy. So we'll see if maybe they like try to trade for like Kirk Cousins, something crazy like that would be insane. But yeah, huge shout out to Kev226. Bestball Josh in the house. Appreciate you, bro. If you guys just joined me, go down, slap the like on the live stream. If you guys are watching this afterwards, drop a nice big congrats to Kev in the comments. Let's dive into just what the hell happened this week. Green Bay's defense is legit. It's legit. The Eckler injury. Oh, man. They just want Bill to hit so bad. And it might actually happen. Like now it might actually happen. But we'll see. We'll see if they try to trade for some running back depth. I would think they're probably bumming that they traded B-Rob, but who knows? Ertz, we love this. Everything else was kind of, Debo got there at the very end with the touchdown, kind of saved his day and saved my day for redraft, but pretty lackluster. Green Bay's defense is legit. So something to note going forward in BRs, maybe I definitely know double stacks against Green Bay. It's a tough matchup. Jacobs just getting there on volume here, 3.7 yards per carry. Gets in the end zone again. Kraft with the monster day. Wicks, super live, anyone? Wicks, super live, anybody? Matthew Golden? I told you at the end of the year, boys, like this one was getting expensive. However, we'll just see. We'll just see. He's a rookie. You're looking for him to grow over the course of the season. He was expensive, like he was going to have a role early and make an impact early. Reed's out now, though, so he's going to be on the field a shit ton. I like Kraft. I still think Golden's a little expensive for where he goes. Maybe they find some better schemes. He could have got there in a long tutty as well, but I would expect it to be kind of like a pseudo JMO where he's going to either have these zeros or he's going to put up a pretty big spike. So still live, might not be the best advanced rate piece, but that Reed injury is interesting. Christian Watson, it's crazy to think, but the dude's ahead of schedule. Like, I don't know when he's going to come back, but even say it's week 8, let's say he comes back week 8, like he's still going to be factoring into snaps week 9, week 8 plus. So you don't want to start losing snaps towards the end of the season. So we'll see. T-Law looked a little better. I don't know. It's the Jags. It's kind of tough. You had a chance to win this game against a Burrow-less Bengals, and they just couldn't do it. Tootin and ETN both looking pretty good. Tootin getting in the end zone on a juke that made me miss the remote controller. Like that was a nasty little stanky leg he did there. Travis Hunter, brutal, and I really don't care. Like per my exposures, like we agree with the Travis Hunter bust. Parker Washington, anybody? Parker Washington, Diami Brown getting in the end zone. Should have had 2. Had one just go bonk right off his hands. So BTJ, where you were drafting these more expensive pieces, pretty gross, I would say. Pretty gross. Yeah, Browning came in. He didn't play bad besides like giving up the ball on every series. He did enough to win the game, though. 14 catches for Chase. Our 101 on the week. We feel fucking smart as fuck right now. T. Higgs gets in the end zone. And, Gesicki had a red zone target. Couldn't haul it in. Other than that, it's gonna be a bumpy road for Cincy. It's going to be a bumpy road. Any guesses? Any guesses on QBs? They're looking to add a QB. Kirk Cousins too expensive. This game just wouldn't end. 37-40. They missed the field goal at the end. They get another try at it. They hit it, and Dallas wins. And the Giants are 0-2. Russ won the Millie Maker in DK. Absolutely crazy. I mean, this reminds me of when I won the Battle Royale main slate with a Russ stack. Just really, really crazy how he can go off like this. Wandale catching some long balls was interesting as well. But Campscat already getting involved. He's been involved in the red zone. Bad news for Tracy. And I mean, he doubled the touches. So this could be Campscat season from here on out. We'll see if he can continue down this road. Neighbors are very heavy favorite for round one, sitting at 13% here. And I wonder if BBM was more. We're at 14% in BBM. Why-yo! We feel good. Feel good about that. Wandale, what the hell was this? Yo, Wandale Slayton. Like, what the heck? What the heck? I mean, Slayton even averaged 30.5 on his catches, but this is crazy here. This is crazy. I mean, if we can get some monster scores like this all the way down the stretch from the Giants, you're going to have some pretty good pieces here. And Javonte, everyone's favorite running back. 18 touches on the ground, average 5.4, 1 tutty, and then 6 catches for 33 yards for 24 total touches. Yeah, he's the workhorse back for the Cowboys. That's yeah. And he's not that old. He's separated from injury. Like all those things I were saying the whole season, like, yeah. I mean, it's muddy. It's obviously like everything in hindsight is 2020, but you definitely should have seen this coming at least at like a 20 to 30%, at least 20 to 30% confidence rate, I would say. Lamb really missing that. He needs that tutty to have the massive spike, but still does pretty well. We loved Ferguson this year, and I'm very happy to see Fergie have a day. I mean, at tight end's kind of busted this week. We'll see what happens tonight, but this is good enough. Getting like what, 12.3, good enough for a late tight end. Pickens gets in the end zone. We like that. And then everything else was Turpin had an injury, right? So we'll see what's going on there. Detroit, Chicago. The Detroit bounce back. Yeah. Yep. If it's going to happen against a team, it's going to be against Chicago. Everyone's favorite stat padding game. Swift got in the end zone. He had a fumble too, right? Swift had a fumble. Let me know. I believe he did. Rashawn Johnson was active. We don't see him get any snaps. We'll see. We'll see what happens at RB2 for Chicago. Rome blew up. We love this. And this is probably the story, is like Colston Loveland not getting involved. I think this is one of the more major misses that we've had is the Colston Loveland miss. So especially like he's the reason why people probably got to less craft. I only have about 7 to 8% craft, and that would have been a lot more if there weren't so many tight ends bunched up in there. And we liked, Loveland was up there. So we'll see if they can get this shit together. I mean, Chicago kind of looks like ass, even though Caleb's doing okay. I mean, he didn't have the best football game, but he provided a pretty massive spike for Rome here. Detroit just ran over them. Both RBs getting touched on the ground. Amon-Ra putting up a monster score. J-Mo getting there on 2 catches for a long tutty here. And then everyone else, pretty mediocre. Fly through. We're going to fly through. Rams and Tennessee Titans. Kyron losing a red zone snap to Corum, the only touchdown on the ground here besides Puka's. Not great news for him, but at the end of the day, like, he's a running back in the Rams offense that's getting 19 touches. I think people are like overblowing one bad game. The touches are there. I'm not that concerned. Not that concerned. Devontae Adams, Devontae Adams and Puka, their target share, both of them was crazy. I think they combined for like a 75% target share in this game. Pretty ridiculous. 9 and 13 for targets. Tennessee looks bad. Ellick looks good though. For a rookie, he's right up there with Ridley for targets. And he was a lot cheaper. We'll see if they can get Ridley to heat up. But right now, it's looking pretty bad. Pollard, no tutty, so you're not getting a spike here. Just 9.2 points from Pollard this week. You want more, obviously, especially with Tajay out right now. You're hoping that you're getting some of those bigger games right now to make him worth his pick. Drake May playing near perfect game here. Tua also playing a really good game. Really good game. They were right in it. They were right in it until he missed Hill. Just threw the ball soaring over his head. Stevenson. And yeah, I get it. I get it. Like, you're Travion Henderson, that pick is like you want him to take over eventually, and maybe at some point he does. But right now, it's Stevenson getting 16 touches. He made a catch in a run like he was Travion Henderson. So I think having that pressure there is making him play a little better because, there's next guy up in line. If he doesn't get it done, Travion Henderson's just breathing down his neck. So 4.9 yards per carry. He looked good after contact. I thought Stevenson had a pretty good day here, and really the only usable piece out of this offense besides Drake May. Like, it wasn't like Matt Collins, 1 catch, 1 tutty, Booty, 1 catch, 1 tutty. Diggs tied the lead for targets, but yeah, it wasn't the best game plan for us fantasy folks. At least they kept it on the ground. The ball was spread out. You're not getting spikes really from anyone there. Except for Stevenson had a pretty good day. And this might surprise you, but we ended up with 16.7% Stevenson and 6.7% Henderson. It's an end of season play, mid to end season play. You're hoping he can get 50% of those carries, in the upcoming weeks. It's just he has to make the most out of it when he does get the touches. And right now, he looks good. He looks explosive. Sometimes you need, like a player like that, you need to give him more carries in order to get that production spike. But we'll see. Mac Jones, 3 tutties. He's a viable quarterback in the right system. This is a really good system for him, obviously. Like, this is a really good system here. Let me let's go down here like this so you can see the full thing. Christian McCaffrey still getting 19 touches on the ground. He gets in the air. He puts up a nice little, 10, 13, 19-point game. CMC back-to-back weeks cooking. B-Rob, the clear number 2. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy because B-Rob is in, technically, in my opinion, a better situation. If CMC goes down with an injury, he's in a better, higher ceiling situation than he was when he was in Washington, because he had that threat of Daniels stealing the red zone goal line stuff. He had the threat of the other 2 RBs mixing in. That's why we faded basically everyone there. And then the trade, it's like, oh dear, I could get burned if CMC goes down. We don't have too much B-Rob. But if he doesn't go down, we feel pretty good. Juwan coming back and 10 targets right away. Looks pretty good. Here. Ricky Pearsall, 4 catches, 56 yards. Lackluster. Very, very lackluster. How much? Oof. 1 point. Yeah, I had a pretty big fade actually on all San Fran pieces, I think. Yeah, we were sub 8 on every single piece in San Fran. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. But Juwan Jennings putting up a nice week. Purdy's coming back when? Unlikely for week 3, so we'll see. And then CMC, I mean, that's back-to-back weeks that he's been pretty productive. We were going neighbors over him, so like you give, you take. I'd probably rather the elite wide receiver there if they continue to battle out like this. But Rattler looks good. I mean, 3 tutties, no interceptions. Juwan Johnson, another good day. Gets in the end zone, 5 catches, 49 yards. Shaheed getting there. Had also a great catch down the sidelines. And Kamara getting some more checkdowns this week. Really happy after he only got, 1 or 2 last week? So 6 catches this week. That's more like it. 27 touches for Kamara. We love that. Oh, I didn't realize this. He ended up with 99. I have him in my at-home league where you get a bonus for 100. So RIP. RIP. RIP those 3 points. We have a few games left. Buffalo Jets. We really don't have to even cover much of this. This was pretty bad. Buffalo just did enough to beat them. James Cook ran the show. No real spike weeks from anyone. Elijah Moore gets there and a rushing touch. Yeah. 1 catch for 31 yards and 8 a rushing touchdown. James Cook was the baller here. And then nothing, really nothing from the Jets. Justin Fields ends up with like 4 points. He's in concussion protocol. We'll see what his status is for next week. But as of today, he's still in concussion protocol. Seahawks, Pittsburgh. Sam Darnold. 2 tutties, 2 picks, 31-17. I mean, they kind of spanked Pittsburgh. And 15 touches for Charbonnet. KMAC was the better back in that one, obviously. But yeah, a little bounce back for KMAC. He's alive again. He's alive again. He was one of my sneaky scroll down shouts just because he was going to be sub 5% owned. I thought, KMAC low owned ramp up game, or could be flat out over, like 100% could have. But yeah, 13, 14 touches. That's still tough. Like he has to be super efficient like he was here. He has to be super efficient for where he was being drafted in the 40s. In the 40s. So, I mean, I'm over here and you know I'm victory lapping this 4%. Like I'm praying at Sharps. I'm praying at Sharps, but these spike weeks are going to come. That's just, he's the explosive player. So really good game. Other than that, Torrey Horton, his first touch as an NFL pro, went for 6, and JSN like pulling in 10 targets, even Cup pulling in 9. This would be big for them too. If they can make this more of a condensed offense around these two, they'll be okay. JSN, it's going to be tough for him to pay out because he's going to need those tutties, but yeah, they spanked him. 31 points. It's crazy. Rodgers played terrible. He was bad. 1 tutty, 2 interceptions. I think Warren was really the only usable piece here. Goes over 130 yards, all-purpose yards, 4 catches. That's basically it. DK saves the day with the touchdown and ends with like 9.5 points. Pretty lackluster. Pretty lackluster. Baltimore, Cleveland. Lamar Jackson just, threw 4 touchdowns to everyone except Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman and Andrews. Hopkins gets 1, almost 2. Devontae Walker got 2, and Tylan Wallace gets 1. Crazy. Shout out to hit him with the gritty, who has a good amount of Devontae Walker getting there with a 15.5 point game. Decent. Derrick Henry, our fade of the week. This one felt good. 11 touches for 23 yards on the ground. Lamar puts up like 26 points. He has a really good day. Like, let's be real. He had a really good day. Flacco got benched at the end of the game after the fumble. Was it fumble 6, I think? Might have been fumble 6. Judkins. Oh, man. Come on. Where's all my week 1? Where's all my week 1 people? Trying to win week 1 with Dylan Sampson. I mean, he did score another touchdown, though. Dylan Gabriel did save, maybe give you one more spike out of Sampson. But the people that are trying to win week 1, Judkins is back. May or may not get suspended. If he does, it'd be like 2 games. Man, you're happy. You're happy with him coming in and taking the most carries right out of the gate. You're very, very happy. Although some of those came when the game was over. They want to get him up to speed. He gets 13 touches on his first game. Pretty happy. He had one really nice run as well for 31 yards was the long. You love to see it. It's a good early sign. I mean, we only got to 11%, but it would have been crazy to not buy any of those late Quinshon Judkins shares at 142 is where his ADP ended. He started in the 70s. Like, yeah, I probably wish I had more, but some people like he was falling to the last pick, and it was muddy. But when the case got dropped, if you were saying like, oh, he's a POS, like he might not play football ever again. Like I get that. When the case got dropped, this is when you can make improvements. You should target, focus that guy in as many drafts as possible because it's a matter of time before he signed his deal and he was out there playing football. That's the way we did it, and it looks like we might get lucky there. That's all it is. You got to make some educated guesses in this game. Daniel Jones. He's balling, man. He's balling. He stole another tutty from JT here. 6 carries for 2 yards. Bo Nix, 3 tutties, 1 interception. This was another really good game. This was a really good game. Was this the one that there was a penalty at the end during the kick? They missed the first kick, or was that the Dallas game? There's a penalty, and then they got another try at it, and then they hit the field goal on the second one. That might have been this one. We watched a lot of football this week. So Dobbins, 14 carries, 1 tutty. RJ Harvey, 5 carries, 8 yards. Troy Franklin, 8 for 89 and a tutty. Marvin Mims saving his day with the touchdown, and Sutton kind of disappearing in this one. But holy smokes. I don't know how long Dobbins can keep this job for. But and if he goes down with injury, it can make it happen any week. If he goes down with an injury, like RJ Harvey's getting fired up on all cylinders. Like he's instantly 15 to 18 touches a game. And that's just league winning in this offense. Dobbins ends up with 15 touches. It's pretty good still. It's pretty good. JT goes nuclear. Man, Denver even has a good defense like this. This was an impressive win for Daniel Jones. Like if you guys don't think Daniel Jones is real deal, I mean, he's not the real deal. But you give him an O-line that can protect for more than 1.1 seconds like he was in the Giants. He can be serviceable. There we go. Is a better word. He's serviceable. Especially there's a lot of weapons and he spreads out the ball. So JT really being the only one here that made a big impact. He also had 9.9 from Tyler Warren. So pretty decent week at tight end there. Yeah, it was the indie game leverage call. Copy. 3 more. Arizona, Carolina. My God, why the hell does Kyler turn into a pumpkin in the red zone? The dude loves to throw picks in the red zone. Like, if he could, yeah, it's that simple. If you could just throw touchdowns instead of picks in the red zone, it's that simple. James Conner gets there on an inefficient day. I mean, 52 yards, 1 catch and a touchdown. He saves his day with the tutty. McBride, man, Michael Wilson, the only one getting in the end zone here, and it was on 1 catch on 11 yards. You're not getting a big spike week from any of these guys, but this is a serviceable week at tight end here. Carolina threw the ball 55 times, and they almost came back in the fourth quarter. They almost came back. They had a chance. Couldn't establish the run. At all. Leggett had 8 targets or something crazy. Where's the Leggett stat line? 8 targets for -2 yards. I saw some stat. It was like, this is the first time that's happened since like Jamal Charles. How many years ago was Jamal Charles on the Chiefs? My goodness. Chuba Hubbard having a decent day. He put up like around 16 with this receiving touchdown. Other than that, Tet looks good. Even the catches that are out of bounds look good. He had a long of 40 on 10 targets. Jatavian Sanders getting 9 targets. 7 catches for 54 yards. It's okay. Hunter Renfrow. Can these Hunter Renfrow points be Jalen Coker points? This is supposed to be Coker. He gets in the end zone twice. Oh, man. Derek Carr saying, like, Hunter Renfrow is always open. Just throw the ball to him every play. Like, my God, he's following that advice. 9 targets. Dude wasn't on the team 2.5 weeks ago. Ludicrous. Bryce Young kind of saving his fantasy day, having to chuck the ball 55 times. At least he started playing football in the fourth quarter. This was a pretty lackluster game, I would say. 20-17. Jalen Hurts had like 120 yards like total. Poor AJ Brown. Poor freaking Devonta Smith. They don't need to do that much to win games. So like, yes, like this year they have a lot more closer games. Last week was close, but it's not turning into fantasy points. It's not turning them into having to throw the ball because they're not playing from behind. They're controlling the game early and they're controlling it on the ground. It's worse than last year. It's actually worse than last year. These 2 games, we'll see. I mean, you were hoping that Dallas was going to be bigger, but against those 2 teams, we'll just wait and see. AJ Brown, Spike Lee's coming soon, hopefully. But yeah, 24 touches for Barkley. Not a massive day, but I mean, he's on the stat sheet there for you. He's on the stat sheet. Mahomes getting it done on the ground, 66 yards and a touchdown. Pacheco, 10 touches for 22 yards. Yeesh. Kareem Hunt, 8 carries for 31 yards. Yeah, Philly's not exactly the easiest team to run on, but I mean, Javonte Williams did it. Kelsey, Tyquan Thornton had a long tutty. No one did anything for you here. Let's be honest. 8.1 from Kelsey. That's about it. Only usable score there. And then last night's game, Atlanta against the Vikings here, Minnesota. Penix looked pretty shaky. JJ McCarthy looked extremely shaky. No one wanted to put the ball in the end zone. Bijan Robinson, 22 carries. Algier, 16 carries. 38 touches for these running backs, not counting the 4 here in the air. I mean, they had a lead. It was never a massive lead. Like the Vikings were always in this game, until deep into the 4th when they put them away with an Algier touchdown. But deep into the 4th, the Vikings were in this game and they shouldn't have been. Both teams look like crap. Not going to lie. But Bijan, this is great. From Bijan here. And Minnesota's got a pretty good D. So they game plan this. Like they're like, we're just going to beat them on the ground here. And at the end, I was surprised the Vikings gave the ball back on 4th and 1. I get it. You want to punt, put it deep, and then get a 3 and out. But instead, the Falcons just drove all the way down the field, burnt the clock, scored a touchdown. Like tough. Naylor could have had a long touchdown, missed by JJ McCarthy. And this is like some of the strategy that I like talking about is contest selection and what players are good in what contests. And of course, like if you drafted JJ McCarthy ahead of players like Herbert, ahead of Goff, maybe you went Jefferson, maybe you went Addison, whatever. Maybe you have that correlation, right? But in a contest like the Husky, and this is where I did it on stream, we went naked Goff over a JJ McCarthy share with Jefferson. Because one, I thought JJ McCarthy, and I said this on stream, I've said this on Discord, he should have been going like after Trevor Lawrence. and he was going in like early 120s. Like he was getting up there. He was getting up there. I still ended up with a good amount of JJ McCarthy too, just due to my Jefferson exposure. But man, Goff, and it's just such a safer pick. And he has a big offense. Like he can spread the ball and still have those spike weeks without anyone having a 30-point game like Amon-Ra did this week. But I mean, they put up 52 points. Not going to happen every week. But Herbert, there's just some quarterbacks that was like, really, we're really going JJ McCarthy. He's basically a rookie in the 120s. And we'll see. It's not over for him, but there's going to be weeks where he's not helping you at all. There's just going to be weeks where he's not helping you at all. And Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones, hamstring injury. Here's your chance. Here's your chance. Not really a pass catching back, but we'll see. He got 2 here. He might be getting added into that role a little more, or we'll see what they do at running back. We'll see how bad the hamstring injury is for Aaron Jones. Something to look out for there. All right, Underdog. Did you release the slate? Did you? No, of course you didn't. In the second quarter, if you guys didn't draft this one early, oh my God. It's week 5, 6, 7, 8. People are drafting players with a week 8 bye. It's the fucking championship week. You're taking zeros in the championship week. Take them off your board, basically. Week 5, 2 out of 12 advance. Take it off your board. Take him off your board. Week 6, week 7, do your thing. Although you should know if you're going to draft one of those two, it's better to do week 6 because it's a 40% advance rate versus 25. So in order, worst to best, man, anyone that doesn't have one of these bye weeks, you give a major boost to. But 2 out of 12 is tough. Like I have week 5 completely off my board. Week 8, it depends. It depends on the spot, but mostly off my board, like 98% of the time. And then after that, it's week 7. Then week 6 is pretty much okay. But yeah, a lot of people taking zeros on early picks. Those early contests, like Quentin Johnson started in the 180s in this contest. He quickly rose up. I mean, I didn't see him go later than 130. So, I mean, we have 1 late share. I only got 4 drafts in. Quinshon Judkins went super late. There's just some massive, massive edges. And I think I even made the mistake that this is a team with no week 8, 1 week 7, 1 week 6, 1 week 7, 1 week 6. So 2 and 2 is tough. It really is, but we'll see. Take a shot on Godwin here. Very, very, very interesting. There is some massive, massive edges in this contest, though. There really is. Cedric Tillman was going late. Quinn Johnson was at 192, excuse me. Said 180 something. 192 he started at. Yeah. It's definitely this contest has the edges of like playoff best ball. You guys know how playoff best ball teams are just dead when they draft. There are dead teams. And maybe you get into one of those pods where you're just playing against a bunch of dead teams that have a bunch of bye week players. Here's a 3-6-6-3, and the only player that has a bye week of 5, 6, 7, 8 is no one. Is this a full team with no one? Yes, this is a full 0 bye week team. Pretty cool. Fields, Purdy, Cam Ward, Achane, Hubbard, Quinshon Judkins is 63. I can't even imagine his ADP now after he gets 13 touches his first game. White, Miller, Roshan, we'll see. McConkey, Evans, Debo, Jennings, Cedric Tillman, and Mims, Fannin, Chig, and Kate Otten. I don't know how many I'll do just because I'm so used to the BRs, and the BRs go so fast. Like, it's kind of hard to go back to like a full 18-round draft. They take so long. Let's dip into the week 3 slate and let's see what we have here. We have our best ball overlay up and running. Shout out to Chad Candles in here with us. Again, peek at the early slate. I like both of these at the 1. I like Barkley at the, I like all of these as top 3 picks. Now, is there somewhere where we're light? It looks like Hurts and Daniels are the only 2 elites on the slate. Something to note there. I mean, Daniel Jones should be mixed in at a pretty decent clip at this rate. Chicago against Dallas could be a sneaky game. And what's awesome about the overlay is you have the implied team totals and you have the game totals as well. So you have the spreads of each game, over under. Really nice to look at. Be like, wow, Chicago's supposed to score 25.5 points. That's it's pretty good. It's pretty good for a scroll team. Let's see what Chad Candles does here. See what Chad does here. Yeah, Tet looks good. Leggett is Mingo is really funny. Leggett is Mingo. I think we're just going CMC here. I think we're just going CMC. Chase, Jefferson, Lamb. I would probably push Lamb above both of these receivers. So if you can get one of Bijan, CMC, Barkley with Lamb, going to be a major advantage. But I would also push up both of these receivers. I would be pushing up. If I can get teams with like two of these, I mean, we can put Jefferson in here. It's just like, it's going to be so hard. It's going to be so hard to time when these spike weeks are going to come. Against Cincy's defense, I like it, but I'm still probably, I'm knocking him down a little bit. I think this is a little expensive for him. JT against Tennessee should be up here as well. Bucky against the Jets. I'm sure his ADP will rise after tonight. Let's see if we can do something like this. Let's do something like this. Yeah. JT goes at 6. JT goes at 6, yeah. With Puka. Yeah, that's... Max knows what he's doing. Pushing up both of those guys is very sharp. Very sharp. I wouldn't mind Jalen Hurts as well. Let's see who comes to us. Yeah, there goes Hurts at 9. We really want Nico here. It's not even close. It's not even close. This could be like a Romo Dunze scroll team too. He's not going to be a scroll for long. Wow, let's go. What a gift. What a gift. When BR is open, there's going to be a clear advantage on the teams that are drafted early, getting 2 of these receivers with one of these top 4 RBs. It's going to happen. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen early before they rise. This is where the clear advantage is. And you're going to give me, Bucky. You're going to give me. Do you want Genty or Bucky? Fuck me. This one's close. Genty at 14? Genty at 14? Let's do it just for the potentially lower owned. Wow. Chase Brown goes insta-click right after. Really loving the Jake Browning at QB T-Bone. Really loving it. I wouldn't mind going Stroud with this team. I wouldn't mind a scroll on to Stroud. Maybe even a game stack here at BTJ. Maybe even the Trevor Lawrence side. Like, can they put a good game together? Kraft up here for sure. Tyler Warren up here. Man, Hawkinson has not had the impact, boys. This is just not it. Without Addison in, man, just Minnesota looks pretty tough right now. It's pretty tough. K-Walk should definitely be mixed in down here. Even ETN, I mean, 16 touches, 19 touches. Has a nice red zone role. Mike Evans down here for sure. Egbuka. There's going to be some risers. Even Pickens getting mixed in against Chicago. I like this spot. Ted against Atlanta. Yeah, there's some pretty fun scrolls. Debo's always live. Debo's always live. Here we go. Don't go. Don't go. Oh my God, he went Goddard. What are we doing? What are we doing? Interesting. Do we just go one of these two now? I do like London here. Against Carolina. Does BTJ actually, I mean, he had 12 fucking targets. It's not like the dude had no targets here. I don't mind game stacking this one, I don't think. We just go Stroud here, like a super low owned Stroud. I mean, I know he looked like shit week 1, but I think we do this. It's supposed to be a pretty close game. Which side do we want? I know Trevor Lawrence looks like, but they kind of both. Which side do we want? What side do you like the most, boys? Do you like the Houston side or do you like the T-Law side? Because I think I'm actually the T-Law side on this. I think I might actually be the T-Law side. 32 rushing yards. Stroud did say he wants to run the ball some more this season. If you get him to have that pseudo Mahomes type rushing game with a rushing tutty and a couple tutties in the air to Nico, that could be saucy. But look at this. Look at the spread of this game. 49.5 points. Whew. Chicago against Dallas. There's going to be some usable pieces here for sure. I like being able to. So you see this is in red, 42.5, yellow, 44.5. It's going to show you those high scoring games. Geno side of the Washington is interesting. The Geno side of the Washington game is interesting for sure. Let's see what this dude does at QB. He goes Browning. I love it. Let's go. This dude's in it to win it. We're actually taking the T-Law side here. The targets are there for Brian Thomas. There's a ton of pressure on him after these last two press conferences and these last two games. A ton of pressure. Not all of it's T-Law's fault. A good amount is, but BTJ shying away from contact is kind of the narrative. We'll see if he gets his shit together next week. But yeah, a little game stack there, probably a little lesser owned. CMC, Genty. And you get these pieces that haven't played twice yet. And like, let's say Genty has a pretty big game tonight. 100 yards on the ground, 6 catches, 40 yards, and a touchdown or two. He's going to fly up the board. You're not going to get him at this low price. So that's why I mix him in here. Yeah, I probably like Bucky better. And Bucky hasn't played either. I think they actually both rise after tonight. Yeah, that to me, there's a clear advantage of getting one of these receivers early. I really don't want to scroll on two. You can go like Mike Evans. Drake London fell in this one. Drake London, I think, will have his weeks as a top 3 receiver. There are some pretty fun scrolls here on this slate. Pickens, Odunze. There's some Tet. There's some fun scrolls. You don't have to go a receiver early, but I will say it does feel pretty good. Bowers and McBride, Kraft, Ertz. Tight end might fall off a little bit, but again, like you have Ferguson there, you have Tyler Warren, like Ferguson pulling in 12 targets, 6 targets. Warren, 7, 9. Like there's some good tight ends. I don't feel take lock to like have to go McBride. We'll see how Bowers plays tonight. We'll see how many snaps he plays tonight. If he gets re-injured, and he's going at pick 15. Like, I think you actually do have to mix that in as well. Like at pick 15, you gotta mix in Bowers for sure. For sure. Like if he came back to us here, it would have been hard to not go Bowers at 14. All right, boys. That's it. That's the first look on the Battle Royale slate week 3. We will be drafting in the Discord. If you're not already in there, links in the description. If you enjoyed today's video, go down and slap the like on the live stream. If you guys want to get the overlay, bestballoverlay.com, promo code Pounders. KMAC took down BR week 2, a Pounder BBO sub. We appreciate you, boys. Congrats to Kev. Amazing win. Who's taking it down week 3? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be you? Let me know in the comments. Appreciate you, and we'll catch you later tonight. Pounders.